Good morning. All right, we're just setting up to do my live predictions. I'm also recording this for TikTok and Instagram, so the YouTube version is going to be longer than the Instagram version and TikTok versions because that's going to have to be cut into 12 spots. Well, I don't know about 12, but 1 to 3 minute spots. So bear with me here on YouTube, and we will get to know just how I feel about the NFL season, and to make sure you know not to agree with me. All right, so part one. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Vinny's Take, part one. That didn't work out good. Let's stop that. Okay. Let's try again. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Vinny's Take Part 1 on the 2021 NFL prediction season. I'm going to go through division by division and tell you how I feel the season will go. First, we're going to start with the NFC. And we're going to start with the NFC West because I believe the champion of the NFC West will be the 4 seed going into the 2021 playoffs. Now, remember, in 2021, the teams will play 17 games. So I have to incorporate that into my record predictions differently than I would any other season I've made these. And if you've been paying attention to any of my predictions in the past, you know that I've only been right once, 2012. The NFC West, I believe that the Los Angeles Rams, although making a lot of moves and losing their running back in the preseason, are going to suffer and not be as good as they can. Sean McVay will continue the downward slide after making the Super Bowl just 3 seasons ago, and the Rams go 7-10 and finish in 4th place. The Seattle Seahawks didn't really do a lot of moves. They still do have the best receiver in the game, and Russell Wilson's still on top of his game, but the losses on defense are going to hurt them. They'll be 9-8 and in 3rd place. This is where it gets a little convoluted and a little confusing. The San Francisco 49ers and the Arizona Cardinals will both end up at 10-7, and it will come down to a tiebreaker. They will split the head-to-head, but the Cardinals will win on conference record because Kyler Murray by himself is good for a win, and San Francisco's quarterback situation is still not as good as they want it to be. Jimmy Garoppolo and the rookie. But both teams make the playoffs. So that is my prediction on the NFC West, and stay tuned for other conference and division predictions. Okay. All right, folks, ladies and gentlemen, part 2 of my 2021 NFL predictions, sure to go wrong. We're going to look at the NFC East now, as I believe the champion of the NFC East will actually be the 3 seed going into the playoffs. The New York Giants still have not done as much as I think they should have to improve their team. They have brought in some players, but they've still got questions at running back. Can Saquon Barkley stay healthy? Can he rebound and have a kind of season that he is gifted for? Or will he have another injury-plagued season? Sometimes the running backs, once you have that first injury, you just end up getting more. They finish 7-10 in 4th place. The Philadelphia Eagles trading away Carson Wentz and have not made a decision whether Jalen Hurts is the starter. Jalen Hurts? If Hurts is the starter or not, I think they finished 9-8, but due to tiebreakers, 3rd place and out of the playoffs. Meanwhile, the Dallas Cowboys, if Dak Prescott can stay healthy, he can get them to the playoffs. I still don't believe they're a division champion, but 9-8 is where I see the 2021 Dallas Cowboys. As all the hype that ESPN always gives them, this time they actually do get to the playoffs, but they're going to have a tough road once they get there. For the NFC East champion, the Washington football team. I still can't believe for the 2nd year in a row I am saying Washington football team. But they finished 11-6 behind the leadership of Ryan Fitzpatrick and their defense. Their defense is really what's going to carry them into the playoffs and get them a 3rd seed. Stay tuned for more parts on Vinny's Take. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, part 3 of Vinny's Take will focus on the NFC South, the division that last year produced the Super Bowl winning team. Finishing in last place, the Carolina Panthers. I don't really know where they're going with anything. Their quarterback situation, I couldn't even tell you who's starting. I think they traded for the kid from the New York Jets, whose name escapes me. He's not really that good, and they're going to finish 8-9 in the last place. But tied with them will be the Atlanta Falcons. Getting rid of perhaps the one of the best receivers in the league. I know he wanted out, but it's just mind-boggling to me. They did pick up a great tight end, but I don't really feel they did as much on defense to try and shore up their constantly blowing of games that they've been doing ever since their Super Bowl appearance. They finish 8-9 as well. The New Orleans Saints, with a new starting quarterback, Drew Brees is gone. That's not good enough to get them a championship. It's good enough to get them at 9-8 and be in the conversation for the playoffs, but Dallas will get the tiebreaker out of all those 9-8 teams. And Tampa Bay goes 12-5, led by Tom Brady once again, and Rob Gronkowski, and everybody that's pretty much back. But they are. Tampa Bay goes 12-5 and gets into the playoffs as a division champion. Stay tuned for more of Vinny's Take Picks. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's part 4 of Vinny's Take. This will be the NFC North, the last division we'll cover, and the reason why we're covering this is because their champion here will have home field advantage. But in last place is the Detroit Lions. Jared Goff going to Detroit is not the answer. Yes, he's younger than Matthew Stafford, but what else have they done? Who else have they brought in? What offensive line or defense is going to be there to protect Jared Goff and his backward slide that he's been doing ever since their Super Bowl appearance? 6-11 for the Lions. The Chicago Bears, they go out and they draft a quarterback. They bring in Andy Dalton. They've still got Nick Foles. Not good enough. 9-8, but they don't win the tiebreaker as the Dallas Cowboys, as I've previously said, get that tiebreaker for the NFC East champion or wildcard spot. The Minnesota Vikings and Kirk Cousins, they have a team around them. They have receivers. They have running game. They have some defense, but that's not good enough to edge out the Packers for the championship. But 12-5 is a damn good record, in my opinion, for the Minnesota Vikings. And lastly, the Green Bay Packers. Yes, they did not do a lot for Aaron Rodgers in the receiving corps, but they got Aaron Rodgers back now. I spent the whole offseason wondering if I was even going to be giving them many wins without Aaron Rodgers, because Jordan Love, although untested, so it would have been hard. But with Aaron Rodgers there, I believe they can once again get home field advantage and finish 13-4 going into the playoffs. I will be talking about the AFC in my next 4 parts of Vinny's Take. All right, Vinny's Take. Now we move into the AFC, and the first division we're going to talk about, the division that will produce the 4th seed in the playoffs. Okay, let's just not use this video at all and stop. Okay, welcome back to part 5 of Vinny's Take. The AFC North will produce the 4th seed, the home field or the division champion that will have the last home game in the first round will come out of this division. I want to talk first about the Pittsburgh Steelers, and there's a lot of hype surrounding them. They went out, they got themselves a running back to replace James Conner. They drafted Najee Harris out of Alabama, and he alone is supposed to be the reason why Pittsburgh can get back to the playoffs. But Ben Roethlisberger is 39 years old, and at the end of last season, Ben Roethlisberger looked 39 years old. This isn't Tom Brady. This isn't a story about a quarterback or Drew Brees that gets better as he gets older. Ben Roethlisberger lost it toward the end of the season, and that alone is going to cause the Pittsburgh Steelers massive problems. They finish 5-12. The Cincinnati Bengals will have Joe Burrow for the whole season. They still did not do anything on the offensive line, but they've got more receivers for Burrow, and hopefully Burrow can stay healthy without an offensive line to protect him. They go 6-11. Now, the division championship will come down to a tiebreaker, and that'll come down to a division record between the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns will end up in the 2nd spot and will get a playoff spot at 11-6, but Baltimore will edge them out based on some sort of tiebreaker that they will have to figure out on their own because I'm not that smart. And Lamar Jackson and the Ravens will once again win the division at 11-6. Stay tuned for more Vinny's Take divisions. Oh, excuse me. All right, welcome back to Vinny's Take here on TikTok and Instagram. Moving on, The next division that we're going to talk about is the AFC South and the Houston Texans and all the problems they have. New head coach, Deshaun Watson, unhappy. They've traded away a lot of great players. They're going to finish in dead last in the AFC South at 6-11. Next up is the Jacksonville Jaguars, and everybody is telling me how Trevor Lawrence is going to be the next coming of Tom Brady or Peyton Manning, and the Jaguars got him with the number 1 overall pick. Well, he's unproven. He's a rookie. I don't put a lot of faith in that. I know some rookies have had great success early on, but the Jaguars, they're the Jaguars, 7-10. Next up is the Indianapolis Colts, and I really wanted to put them up near a better record in the division championship when they got Carson Wentz, but now Carson Wentz, I don't know how long he'll be out, but he goes down in the preseason, and he's just too fragile. I don't see Carson Wentz being a stud in the NFL anymore. Ever since that injury, when he was having an MVP-type season back in 2017, it just hasn't been there for him. But the Colts do get to 9-8. They missed the playoffs. The Tennessee Titans and Ryan Tannehill, and, of course, the running game of Derrick Henry and the defense, they'll win that division at 12-5. Based on tiebreakers, they end up in the 3rd seed and not the 2nd. We'll talk about that in the next video on Vinny's Take. All right. I'll take a little break before I start, but have a drink of coffee. I thank you guys for sticking with me, as I know you're beyond anticipating who I think is going to win the Super Bowl. Part 6 of Vinny's Take, we now look at the AFC West. Yes, the AFC West will not have home field advantage this year. They will get the 2nd seed, but starting out first is the Denver Broncos. Who's going to be the quarterback? Is it going to be Trevor Locke? Is it going to be why can't I think of names? I really need to prepare better. The guy they brought in from Carolina, Teddy Bridgewater. I don't really know, but hopefully they don't go into a game this year, but they've got to start a wide receiver who was on the practice squad. They'll finish 7-10, last place in the AFC or West. Yes, the Los Angeles Chargers and the Las Vegas Raiders both get to 11-6, and they both get playoff spots. Vegas Raiders will actually sweep the Chargers head-to-head, and that's why they will have the home game, or not the home game, but the higher seed in the playoffs. And the Kansas City Chiefs, once again behind Patrick Mahomes, trying to go to the 3rd straight Super Bowl, get a little bit more tired and end up dropping a couple games that they would have won a year or two ago. They go 12-5. That's the AFC West. We've got one division left to cover, and then the playoffs, 2 more parts. Stay tuned here on TikTok and Instagram. If you're watching on YouTube, you're just being bored for the next couple seconds. The last division in the AFC is the AFC East. And the New York Jets, led by their 24th quarterback in the last 2 years, will go 5-12 and be last place again. I know they drafted Zach Wilson out of BYU, but the kid looks like a deer in headlights in the Big Apple. I wish the kid luck, but man, the Jets probably were not the best place for him to go. Next, the New England Patriots, Cam Newton. Will Mac Jones get in? 9-8. They miss the playoffs again. The Miami Dolphins get to 10-7 and just are edged out of the playoffs by the Chargers getting to 11-6. But the Miami Dolphins under Tua Tagovailoa, I don't know. I'm trying. They're in the hunt. They're close. But the Buffalo Bills and the Josh Allen wrapped up. They'll put the distractions of Cole Beasley and the distractions of the false rumor to Austin behind them. And the Buffalo Bills go 13-4 and win home field advantage in the AFC playoffs. And all we got left now is to tell you, out of the 14 teams I put in the playoffs, who's going to win? Stay tuned, coming up later. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for my last part of my NFL playoff for 2021 predictions, and that's the playoffs, the wild card round. First, we'll go through the NFC, and then we'll go through the AFC. In the NFC, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will destroy the Dallas Cowboys, and I love saying that, 42-10. And I'm no fan of Tom Brady, but if the Brady and the Bucs play the Cowboys, I'm obviously the Bucs are a much stronger team, and Dallas will just, they're in the playoffs mainly because of their division and who they have to play, but Tampa Bay all the way. The Minnesota Vikings will edge the Washington football team 17-16, being the one road team in the NFC side to win in the wild card round, and they will advance. Then the Arizona Cardinals in a shootout beat the San Francisco 49ers 37-21, advance to the divisionals. Speaking of the divisional rounds for the NFC, I've got the Green Bay Packers edging the Minnesota Vikings 24-21 and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defeating the Arizona Cardinals 34-31 to give us a rematch of the 2020 NFC Championship game in Green Bay. Tampa Bay once again goes up and Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers will fail in the NFC Championship for like the 20th time since Aaron Rodgers has been the starting quarterback. Tampa Bay wins 27-24 and goes to their second straight Super Bowl. On the AFC side of things, we got to hurry this up. We're running out of time. On the AFC side of things, in the wild card, Kansas City defeats the Los Angeles Chargers 24-17 at home. Down in Tennessee, Derrick Henry and the Titans defeat the Las Vegas Raiders 21-10. It's the Cleveland Browns on the road edging the Baltimore Ravens 28-27 to move on to the divisionals. In the divisional playoff round, the Cleveland Browns go into Buffalo, but the Bills are just too much this year. The Bills win 38-14. And the Tennessee Titans on the road get the upset over the Kansas City Chiefs, ending their bid for a third straight Super Bowl, 24-21. In the AFC Championship, Buffalo at home is able to barely edge Tennessee 26-21 and setting up a Super Bowl of Buffalo versus Tampa Bay, Super Bowl 56. And this one was hard for me because I really want to predict Buffalo, but I can't. I can't predict my own Buffalo Bills because why? I don't want to jinx them. So I'm going to say Tampa Bay beats Buffalo in Super Bowl 31-30 when Rob Gronkowski catches a 2-point conversion at the end to seal his MVP performance, and the Buccaneers win the Super Bowl. And for the 5th time in my life, 7th time overall when you count my Falcons, I lose and have to end my Super Bowl Sunday upset and pissed off. Well, that's how I feel it's going to happen. Thanks for joining me. So what do you think of my predictions? You could check out the videos that I'll upload to TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram by following Vinny X Wolf. But tell me here on YouTube, if you watch the full video on this channel, what do you think of my predictions? Where am I wrong? I'm going to be wrong. I mean, I'm no expert. I'm just a fat guy sitting on my couch in my house making predictions about a football season that hasn't started yet. So you let me know. This has been Vinny's Take, and God bless America.